Hi, Gil from Testing Gil here. Today, let's talk about exploratory testing and how to fit it into sprints. The nature of exploration is that it's open. We can explore more and more until we run out of time. But most of the time, we don't have time, especially if we're working with sprints or in agile, as I've heard it before. Anyway, when we're working in iterations, we're focusing on getting things done. The whole point of sprints is to deliver small working features. So, what is working? So we can agree how to build the feature and how to test it. But if you're working properly, most of the bugs will not be in the code. It will be in the periphery, on the things that we didn't plan on. And that requires exploration. Now, how do we deal with that? Agile development is based on collaboration. And exploration is no different. When the developers and the testers collaborate, they plan together, decide how to build the feature and how they're going to test it. That also includes what are the common assumptions, how we're actually going to test it, what we're going to look at, and what we expect to see. All those are discussed in the beginning of the sprint, as part of the planning, and should come to a common agreement. And if we discover something in the middle of the sprint, then we collaborate again, discuss everything, reprioritize things, decide to look at things more deeply, come to the same common understanding again. Now, a very important part of this understanding is what is important, what is risky. When everyone agrees on what is important and what is risky and should be looked at, we have this common understanding, and there's a good chance that everyone will agree about the prioritization, and there will be less arguments. By the way, I made a video about risk-based testing and the thinking behind it, and it relates very much to our topic today. So if you haven't watched it yet, it's here. Now, joint agreement or common agreement doesn't only apply to our regular testing, but also to exploration. Now, this may sound easy to do, but it really isn't. For example, think about a scenario where the developer has been working hard on a feature and it gets delayed. It's not ready yet, getting into the hands of the testers. Now, the testers have less time in the sprint, and they need to decide what to do now. So now the whole team needs to decide what to do next. These kind of decisions include what kind of the test that we plan to do, we won't do, what kind of automation that we planned, we won't do, and maybe the exploration that we decided to do, we do less of it. I know, it sounds like science fiction, but it could happen. Now, one assumption I always start with is that we're all bad at estimating. Whatever we plan, and however well we planned it, at some point reality will step in and mess up all our plans. When it does, we need to do the sensible thing. We prioritize. Go back, decide again what are the important things, what are the risky things, and test accordingly. That applies both to features and workflows, but it also applies to testing activities. The problem is that mostly exploration and somewhat automation gets relegated to second place, demoted, behind regular testing. It starts with the notion that we have is that we already thought about everything and our test plans will cover everything, and therefore, by doing the tests, they will uncover all the bugs that we have in our system. The problem is we're biased. Just because we thought about the test plans, that doesn't mean that we'll actually find the bugs while actually doing that. The bugs don't just move out of the darkness because we decided to switch the light on. But the result is that regular testing gets more time and are considered more important than exploration. So the solution is getting back to that common team agreement. If as a team we decided that exploration is required at the beginning of the sprint, we need to remind ourselves why it was important then and why it is important now. And once we decide what is important again, we'll decide what to drop. Maybe it's some of the tests that we have planned to do. Or maybe we decide to lower exploration on the priority list. In any way, it has to be a team agreement and a team decision. The secret to do this continuously is continually have the findings reported back to the team. Everyone on the team needs to be aware of what we found, the importance of what we find, and as closely as possible to when we found it. Because then the team can decide what kind of course of action they can do. It could be fixing the bugs. It can be retesting. It can be exploring around these bugs that we found. Any decision is okay, but it has to come from and by the team. Another thing we need to do is manage our time effectively, especially around exploration. Even if we have enough time to everything that we've planned, if our exploration sessions are not time limited or time boxed, we will not use our time effectively. We are also bound to stumble while we're exploring on areas that we'd like to explore more. Maybe originally we didn't think these areas would be that interesting. We need to continuously manage and reevaluate our exploration areas. Also, when you get to a certain charter, you might feel it's not clear enough or focused enough. Excellent. Don't start working on it. Not until you define exactly what you want to achieve within the session, maybe split it to maybe other focused charters. And I've said it before, it's okay to defer decisions if it's not the right time right now. Finally, let's talk about documentation. In Agile, what we usually talk about is just enough documentation. We don't want to spend our time documenting stuff like bugs when direct communication works better. So the team needs to agree on how to document and what, and reassess how we communicate about bugs, weird findings, and their impact. Everything we do in sprints is based on collaboration, communication, and agreement. If we collaborate less, spring surprises, and not manage our time effectively, the quality of the product suffers. We will deliver less working features. And everyone would agree they don't want that. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and watch other videos on this channel. And in the comments down below, tell me how you were able to fit exploration into your sprints and what kind of mind tricks you played on the developers in order to achieve that. Until next time, bye-bye.